What if I told you that there was a federal program available to business owners that could potentially be 3 times more lucrative than the famous PPP loans that were available during 2020 and 2021? Well, there is a program called ERC, the Employee Retention Credit, and I'm going to walk you through how it could potentially be more valuable than PPP ever was for you and your business. So stick around, you're not going to want to miss this. So you heard right, the Employee Retention Credit ERC is potentially more valuable than what was available during 2020 and 2021 for the PPP loans, both rounds 1 and 2, and even that EIDL loan or grant, because the grant so many people didn't get, and the loan has to actually end up being paid back. So real quick, before we dive too far in, don't forget to drop a like for this video and check out our private Discord server. I just opened up access to that. If you're thinking to yourself, all right, Rich, you got my attention, but how could there be a program out there that, you know, maybe I've heard about, or even I've heard about it and I don't think I qualify, but you're telling me it's going to be more valuable than PPP? Well, the answer is yes, and let's do a little history lesson just to kind of refresh everybody's memory and get you up to speed. You see, way back in 2020, specifically March 13th, 2020, there was some legislation passed, and buried down below in there was a payroll tax refund called the Employee Retention Credit ERC. Now, what got everybody's attention was the PPP loans. Now, if you remember, what you had to do is take your business's like revenue, and there was some rule changes, some confusion. Was it gross revenue? Was it net revenue? Could sole proprietors get it? Did you have to have W-2 employees? Remember, this is all the confusion that was PPP round 1 and 2. But essentially, no matter who you were or what your business was, you would get 2.5 months, approximately 10 weeks, worth of payroll, and then that money would go directly into your bank account, and you had to use it a certain way. And again, those rules changed: 60% for payroll, 100% for payroll, approved expenses. I mean, I did so many videos on the topic, but eventually, and here's the awesome part, those loans were forgivable. You could apply for forgiveness, and many of you already have. If you haven't and you're watching this video, you should really get on that forgiveness, or you're going to have to start to pay back those PPP loans. Well, then towards the middle of 2021, the government made some rule changes for that ERC program that was kind of buried in the legislation. And here's what they said. If you're a business owner with W-2 employees on the books, that means that you pay your employees through payroll, and you file quarterly payroll returns with the IRS. Those are called 941s. Those documents are filed, and now we're going to take a look at them retroactively. Well, you're allowed to go back, not to just 2021, but to 2020, and potentially get up to $26,000 per W-2 employee when you combine the available quarters for both 2020 and 2021. Now, this is where I kind of want to slow down for a second and kind of make you realize how this is more valuable than PPP. If you remember, PPP was going to be for about 2.5 months, and I just told you that you could get up to 6 quarters total in 2020 and 2021. So even if you got PPP round 1 and 2, and you kind of look at that as like a combined 5 months or 20 weeks, we're talking, and here's like a little list, maybe I'll like kind of run it on the screen right now. 2020, quarter 2, 3, and 4, and then 2021, we have quarters 1, 2, and 3. They changed the rules again and got rid of Q4 except for recovery startup businesses. But we're potentially talking about you getting back this money that could count for up to 6 quarters. But here's the problem. It's complicated to figure this out. If I just threw out that term 941 and you like know what that is, well, we got to amend those forms, and that means you got to file a 941X. And as of right now, the IRS is behind in processing those. They're taking anywhere from like 6 to 8 months. And they only accept them through like old-fashioned physical snail mail. Like you have to like fill out this form and and send it off in the mail. And the calculations per employee, looking at detailed payroll reports, those 941s, taking into consideration the PPP loans, because if you did get like both of them or some of them, when you use them can't overlap with ERC, like your mind's probably spinning right now, because I know mine is. So I've partnered with the good folks at the ERC Specialists. They are a company out of Utah that started about a year and a half ago. And this is all they do 24/7. In fact, I did an interview with the founder and I was kind of doing some SEO research and I saw the term like, is ERC Specialist a legitimate company pop up? And so as I talked to Josh and asked him all the questions about how they got started and what services they're offering, I addressed those issues. So if you want to check out their website, I will leave it in a link down below in the description. You can kind of vet them yourselves. I've already done that. There's testimonials on there, but also I will leave another link down below to a free questionnaire. If you're curious about this employee retention credit, this ERC money, and you haven't actually checked it out yet, I would say don't pre-qualify yourself. If your attorney, accountant, neighbor said, oh yeah, you probably don't qualify, like you didn't have a revenue reduction, or oh, you know, you can't get that if you get PPP. Well, the rules have changed. So take 10 minutes, take 15 minutes. Again, check out the link down below in the description. It's a free questionnaire and see what you potentially qualify for. Now, full disclosure, if you decide to go and file with the ERC Specialist, then there is a fee, but I think it is well worth it and you're definitely going to come out on top. A couple of key takeaways. I've made videos all about PPP. I've made videos all about ERC, but over the past few months, I'm starting to see that if businesses got, let's just make up a number, like $100,000 for their PPP loans, because they had some employees and they needed to kind of keep things afloat. Well, ERC is potentially more valuable, up to 3 times more valuable when you hit that sweet spot than those PPP loans. Now, for my small business owners out there, those mom and pop shops with no W-2 employees, sole proprietors, unfortunately, you do not qualify for this program, this ERC program, but there is an ERC affiliate program. And what I mean by that is if you want to tell other small business owners, other people with W-2 employees in your area about the ERC program itself, well, then you can earn a small commission by educating them and helping your fellow neighbor. So it's kind of win-win for everybody. I have to say that to all the business owners out there who have not taken the time to check out this federal program yet, you're doing yourself a disservice. So please, if you have questions, leave me a comment down below. Also, if you're new to the channel, please don't forget to check out my website. It is full of other resources, podcasts, videos, and don't forget to hit subscribe and ring that notification bell. All right, as always, I'm Rich, and until next time.